What is going on? Fork and Spoon MTG here with a pack opening video. I wanted to break down some of the things that we'll be putting into decks, and I was hoping to crack some packs for our first video on YouTube, so hooray. I just wanted to show you some of the things that we'll be opening. So first we've got Magic the Gathering Foundations. I got a couple packs that I bought. We've got some Innistrad Remastered that I'm hoping to crack some good things out of. And then finally, some Phyrexia set boosters. So with this, I'm hoping to crack some really cool Phyrexian lands primarily because I think those are just the coolest. I have no idea some of the value that are in some of these. I know Foundations, there's not going to be too many big opportunities to find some big things, but it'll be fun to just crack that as a start for the first pack ever opened on this channel. I have got a deck that I'm hoping to put together, and I'm hoping to show the deck build as we go through these videos, and that leads me to what we'll finish with on this video, and that is the secret layers. I've got 3 here, 2 are the same. I've first got God of War, the Greek God of War right here, and we've got the secret layer God of War right here, and then in the Norse version, and finally another Norse version of the God of War. So we'll be cracking those, and hopefully we'll be putting together a God of War deck here pretty soon. So without further ado, let's get down to it. With the Foundations packs, this box came with a set of 2 boosters. So I've got these 2 right here. I just opened it right before starting the video to see if there's anything else I should expect to find in a box like this. I did one of the boxes from the Avatar set of the Jumpstart Boosters, but for this one we're gonna try to see what's in the Foundations. Now again, I have not looked into it because I want it to be a surprise for me and a surprise for anybody that's new to Magic, even those that are familiar and just like watching packs get cracked. We're just starting with straightforward videos like this, but I just wanted to see what's in these. I know that you could shuffle up 2 of these and play a game of Standard, but to my knowledge, there's just 1 color in each pack. So we'll see if we can get some cool colors, see if we can get some cool cards. I wanted to be surprised by these. So it comes in a little different from other packs where there's like a little plastic lining on the inside, which is kind of cool. So tear that around. I'm assuming this is going to be a white theme, giddy app. That might be a horse theme. I have no idea, but let's see. It actually looks kind of cool. A Pegasus creature, flying lifelink, which is great. Whenever you cast a Pegasus, unicorn, or horse, copy it. Other Pegasi, unicorns, and horses you control get 1. So good anthem effect there. I don't have a horse deck, but that would be great in one. Let's see. Enchantment, Vanishing Light. I know that card. When that enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until it leaves. That's very good. I like that because it's hard to remove. Enchantments. Celestial Unicorn. When you regain life, put a +1. Steadfast Unicorn. Creatures you control get +1 and gain vigilance. So horse, this is very horse themed. So anybody out there who's building horse tribal, this is if you get the Giddy App pack, that's going to be a good one to crack into. Let's see, another instant that creatures you control get +1 and lifelink until end of turn. So lots of lifelink with unicorns. When Bright Mirror enters, tap up to 1 target creature. You gain life equal to that creature's power. Moment of Triumph. So lots of decently low cost cards. I'm only seeing something that costs 4 at the most right now. So that's pretty cool. Very horse themed. Creatures you control get +2 and gain 2 life. Yeah, this is all going to be horse themed. I like the art on that one. That's pretty cool. Outflank deals damage to target attacking a blocking creature equal to the number of creatures you control. Ranum Unicorn. Sacrifice Ranum Unicorn. Destroy target enchantment. That's kind of cool. Shield Mirror can't be blocked by red creatures. I like that. Good if you're playing against a red deck for Foundations. When Shield Mirror enters or becomes a target of creature's spell or an ability an opponent controls, you gain 3 life. Lots of life gain. Speaking of that, Sungrace Pegasus, flying and lifelink. 1/2 for 2. That's good. Another flying Pegasus. This is really cool. I like all the horses. I like the horse theme. Thriving Heath enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color other than white. That's kind of, I like that. I like these types of lands. I might even put that in the God of War deck. But then we got some different planes here. I like the art on those. That one's pretty cool. Very horse themed. There's got to be a spot where horses can run. I was just about to say run around, but you're not going to see a whole lot of horses up here. But yeah, I love the art on these planes. Those are cool. So all in all, that's a cool little Foundations pack. Comes with 20 cards, so you get 40, and you get 2 different colors, and you can build you can crack 2 of those and start playing right away. This is probably one of the cheapest ways to play Magic the Gathering, in my opinion. Foundations playing standard, because these really don't cost you any more than 20 bucks for a box of 2. They shouldn't, at least. Okay, now let's see, what color are we gonna get? I'm gonna guess blue. Okay, there we go, another white. So it's gonna be all mono white color deck. So now we got Prideful. So now we got lion on the front. I could imagine this is gonna be lion themed. I'm a betting man, let's see. Okay, ooh, Brimaz, King of Oreskos. I heard this card's really good. I heard that there's another art for it. I think this art's pretty good and looks pretty cool, but I've seen the other art for it, and I would think that one's really good as well. But he's got Vigilance, and when he attacks, create a 1/1 white cat creature token with Vigilance. That's attacking. When he blocks a creature, create a 1/1 that is blocking that creature. That's pretty good. Kind of reminds me of the alternate commander from the starter pre-con, the blue-white deck, the Flyers deck. I'll see if I can remember him. I'll put him on the screen because I can't remember him right off the bat, but he's really good for attacking and defense. And the Flyer has Vigilance too, so it's cool that they both do. Dawning Marshal, flying creatures you control get +1 for 4 and a white until the end of turn. So lots of Anthem effects. Leonin's Scimitar, Acolyte. Bazri's Acolyte gives you lifelink, and when it enters, put a +1 on each of up to 2 other target creatures you control. That's pretty cool. I like the art on this one. Impeccable Timing. Impeccable Timing deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. So that's good for both offense and defense. Indigenous Leonin, Cat Soldier for 3 and a white. Put a +1 counter on another target attacking creature you control. If that creature is a cat, it gains first strike until end of turn. I'm going to go kind of fast through some of these. I know there's a lot of packs that I want to get through, but I want to show you some of those secret layers too. So let's get through these. King of the Pride, other cats you control get +2/+1. That's good Anthem effect. I like that one. Leonin of the Lost Pride. When it dies, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. Good against a recursion deck. Leonin Vanguard. So you got Leonin of the Lost Pride and Leonin Vanguard at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control 3 or more creatures, it gets +1 until end of turn, and you gain 1 life. Pacifism, I've heard of this one. I haven't put it in a deck yet. I play mostly Commander, but this is good for, basically, doesn't exile a creature, but it can attack or block. So it really sucks when you get that, played against you in Commander, because your Commander's basically just choked out. Savannah Lions, just a 2/1 for 1. So that's good. Just get something on the field for cheap. Take up the shield. I like the art on that. Put a +1 counter on target creature. Gains lifelink and indestructible. And we got another Thriving Heath. So same, dual land here. And then we've got our very similar planes. So all looking the same, but all very cool. I like the art. Okay, so we got Giddy Up and Prideful. So those are the 2 different Foundations packs. And you can put these 2 together. Of course, not with these right here. You take those out, put these together. You don't even need sleeves. Just put that together and you got 40 cards in total and you're ready to play. So that's a pretty awesome way, almost, I would say, quicker than Commander, a pre-con, because you could hop right into a game with less cards, so less to even open and shuffle. So that's pretty cool. So now we're going to go through Innistrad. We'll go through these, then we'll go through Phyrexia, and then we'll go through our God of War packs. Now, with all of these, the Innistrad cards, I'm hoping to just open for fun. I just wanted to crack some more packs in this video. The Phyrexia, all will be one. As you can see, I did open this pack. I'll show you exactly what I got out of that one. But that does have a foiled, really cool Phyrexian alt art that I'm hoping to put into my God of War deck, into my one that I'm building. So hopefully we get some, if there's just some cool cards that we can put in other decks out of these Innistrad packs, we will. But outside of that, just looking to see if we can get some cool cards. I'll put the value cards on screen. I have no idea which ones are going to be more valuable than others, but I know there's some big hits. Sometimes people go for the collector boosters, but we're not spending that kind of money right now. So let's start with pack number 1 for the Innistrad Play Booster. Now these ones have 14 cards in them. Okay, starting with a clue there. It's on the back end there. Okay, so not starting with the high value ones, but aim high is the first one on here. Untap target creature gets +2 until end of turn. Thraben Inspector, 1 cost for a 1/2. When this creature enters, investigate. Deranged Assistant, mill a card, and then add a colorless mana. That's actually pretty good in a graveyard recursion deck. I could put that in my Sauron deck. And in the future, I'll be showing you guys some of these, some of my decks that I've already built. I've got a handful that I'd love to show on video. We got Butcher Ghoul, Undying. So when it dies, if it had no +1 counters on it, return it to the field under its owner's control with a +1 counter on it. Think twice, draw a card, and you could do flashback for this. So you pay 2 and a blue, cast it from your graveyard, then exile it. Delver of Secrets, a human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You can reveal that card. If an instant or sorcery is revealed this way, transform this creature. Ooh, Insectile Aberration. It's got flying, and it's a human insect. That's pretty wicked looking. So I'm not sure if we're going to get any of the big hits. We got a Subjugator Angel with flying. When this creature enters, tap all creatures your opponents control. That's pretty good. Really good to tap it down, but you got to pay 6 for a 4/3 flyer. So we'll see. Hopefully we get something cool out of here that we can slap in a deck. Sever the Bloodline. Exile target creature and all other creatures with the same name as that creature. Not very good in Commander, but very good in other formats. Groundskeeper for 1 and a green. Return target basic land card from your graveyard to your hand. Temporal Mastery. Take an extra turn after this one. Okay. I have a feeling that one might be... You can cast that for 1 and a blue. You may cast this card for its miracle cost when you draw it for the first time. So Miracle is really good because if you drew it this turn for 1 and a blue, you can take an extra turn after this one. I have a feeling that is going to be a big hit right there. Giza and Giralf. I've got the pre-con starter deck for this one. When it enters, mill 4 cards. Once each of your turns, you may cast a zombie creature from your graveyard. Temporal Mastery, I think that might be a big hit, but we'll find out. Giza's Bidding. Create 2 black creatures zombie tokens, and you can cast it for a madness cost. I like the old art on that. That's just a cool, old school art. Ooh, okay. Rune-bound Wolf. I like the foiling on that. It's hard for it to pop up on camera. I've noticed that, but looks really cool in person. For 3 and a red, this creature deals damage equal to the number of wolves and werewolves. So if you're making a werewolves deck, that's a good card. Looks cool. It's got a cool collar on it that's glowing a little bit more because of the foiling. And then a really cool, I like the old school mountain. It's not foiled, but I like that old school border. And then you got a cool human soldier token, and then a clue token. So all in all, I think that's the ones that I think that are going to be big hits. I'll put right at the side here. So we'll see. Okay, let's move on to our second pack of Innistrad Remastered. Okay, open nice. I like that. Okay, Duel of Dominance. Let's see. Choose target creature you control and the target creature you don't control. If you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, put a +1 on creature you control. It's a lot of words. It's a mouthful. It's werewolves. I don't know if I'll be building anything like werewolves anytime soon. Probably zombies sooner. Just upgrading the starter precon. Voldaran Duelist has haste, and when this creature enters, target creature can't block this turn. That's nice. Imprisoned by the Moon, enchant creature, land or planeswalker. Enchantment permanent is a colorless land, and with tap it and add colorless, it loses all other types and abilities. So another enchantment. Enchanted creature gets +2 and has pay 1, sacrifice a permanent. This creature gets flying. Okay. Abyssinian Priest, pay 1 and tap. Pay 1 and tap this to tap a non-human creature. Kind of cool. Okay, so I'm assuming, there we go. It's a werewolf, so it's going to tap. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform. Probably why I'm not the biggest fan is there's a lot to track. This creature attacks each combat if able. It's nice because it's a 5/5, but if a player casts 2 or more spells, then you transform it back. So the fact that you're flipping it back and forth is kind of a lot to deal with. Infernal Grasp is a good destroy spell for 2, so I would say that's a decent card. I don't know what the price is on that, but we'll put that on the screen here. That, I think, is another decent hit. So I'm going to put my better hits that I like up here that I could see myself using. We got another Rune-bound Wolf, Howl Pact Resurgence, Flash. Each creature you control that's a wolf or werewolf gets +1 and Trample. I love Trample, that's good. This is called a slow land. This is a good one. Shipwreck Marsh. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. So I like the, slow land is good because, not a whole lot unless you're playing CEDH. This is going to be a pretty good card, I would say. That's a good one. Slow land, I like those. This one's pretty cool. Garruk got a Planeswalker, so when Garruk, let's see, when he has 2 or fewer loyalty counters on him, transform him. Okay, so for 0 and 0, so once each turn, even when you play him, he can deal 3 damage to target creature. That creature deals damage equal to its power to him, or pay 0 and create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. That's a pretty good Planeswalker. You could also transform him into this Garruk Veil Cursed. For +1, you can create a black wolf creature token with Death Touch. I like that. I love Death Touch. Sack a creature, or for -1, sack a creature if you do search your library for a creature card. Okay. Sack it. So you can make one on one turn and sacrifice it on the next if you want to get something even better than that token, or get rid of that other one. Creatures orb for -3, you can creatures you control gain trample and +X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Pretty cool. I'm gonna put that up here too. Okay. Aberrant Researcher, Human Insect. Is this the? It is the what? I didn't even. Human Insect and Insect Horror. I didn't even know that one transformed. Flying, and at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. If an instant or sorcery card was milled this way, transform this creature. Is this different from the one we found before? What was that one? Let's see here. Delver of Secrets. A lot of human insects. That's kind of, so definitely a horror theme on this. So this one's got flying at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card, instant or sorcery. If an instant or sorcery was milled this way, transform. Yep, exactly. Yep. What? No, this is revealed, and that one's milling. So lots of synergy here, but both turn into freaky looking insects there. Okay, good to know. And then we've got, Desperate Farmer. Lifelink. When another creature you control dies, transform this creature. And then he turns into Depraved Harvester with lifelink. Got that in the foil, but that is crazy. Once he tasted the dark power, there was no turning back. Okay, got a Plains. Again, I love the old school border art. I think that looks so cool. And then a Human Soldier with training. So on the other side, Tameo Field Researcher. So very cool tokens. I think we got 4 that we like right off the bat. We'll find out later if there's some other cards in this set or in these packs that I'm cracking that I should be putting in one of the decks that I have, but for now, we'll just stick with that. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit faster because I want to get to the God of War. So we got It of the Horde Storm. It's going to merge for 6 and a green. Butcher Ghoul with Undying. When this creature dies, it had no +1 counters. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1 counter on it. So that's a good one. I like that one. Young Wolf with Undying. Hungry Ridge Wolf. Another wolf. Dauntless Cathar. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Strength of Arms. We got Desperate Farmer. Spectral Shepherd. Lumberknot. Gyre Reach Bandit. Another werewolf. I love the art on the werewolves. I would have a tough time tracking at the beginning of each upkeep and keeping track of if people cast spells. I like reading my hand and like making sure I'm prepped for the next turn. I don't want to be tracking how many cards I got to flip back and forth. At the beginning of your end step, for Conjurer's Closet, you may exile target creature you control and return that card to the battlefield under your control. Think twice. Got this, but now we got it in the old border, which is cool. I love the old borders. Voldaren, that's another vampire, which is kind of cool. And some foiling here. When it enters, deal 1 damage to each opponent and create a blood token. A mountain, same mountain as we got in the first pack. And a cool art card right on. So got 4 right off the rip that I like. Shipwreck Marsh, Temporal Mastery, Infernal Grasp, and Garruk Relentless. So we'll see what kind of value we got out of those cards later on, but for now, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this here. This first pack of Phyrexia will be one I opened yesterday, but the main thing that I wanted to show you, there was some good, like Eternal Wanderer is a good card. I love this Phyrexian language art on here. And then these alt arts are so cool for the Phyrexia All Will Be One. But the main thing that we got out of here that I like is the foil Phyrexian land. So that is definitely going to stay on screen because that's going to go up to the very end of the video when we put that in the makings of our God of War deck. So just flopped out. Okay, let's see here. Okay, flipping over. Mirrodin Besieged. I don't know if that was, I can't tell if I messed up the order, but let's see. Enchantment. That's pretty cool. I might put that in the maybe pile. Another art, Phyrexian Beast. Okay, that's a good one. Phyrexian Zombie. Other creatures you control get -1. And then for 1 and 2 black, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this creature was lead to the battlefield and exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Okay, that's kind of cool for recursion. Love the alt art on these. Let's see here. Going faster through these because I want to make sure that okay. We got a mountain in that Phyrexian art, super cool. So, or I'm sorry, got an island. So now we've got 2 in the cool Phyrexian art, which I like. All right, so let's move on to the third one and then we'll crack these 3 God of War packs. Okay, first one here, Poison Counter. Okay, Cinderglass Ravisher. If I crack anything that is worth value, we'll find out. Phyrexian Wizard, we'll find out on the screen after I edit these, but for now, unless I see, ooh, Tyrannix Atrocity. Okay, that one's pretty scary. See, new Dancer, and then a cool Swamp, and then that is our art card. All right,